What is up, guys? I'm here with my very first YouTube video. And today I'm going to be playing my favorite game right now. That is World of Warships. And we're going to be taking out the German Tier 8 premium battleship, the Tirpitz. Before we get into the ship, exterior, I just wanted to show you guys something really cool. This is the Tier 8 Tirpitz with that new Halloween camo, which looks absolutely fantastic. It goes for 30 gold, and it gives you an additional 100% experience for every battle. So, definitely really, really cool. You can only buy it for gold, though. That's the only disadvantage. But if you have gold, hey, why not? It's limited. You're not going to be able to buy it too much, so yeah, why not? So as far as the ship goes, 69,300 hit points. Excuse me. I equipped BF-109G fighter instead of the scout plane, just because the anti-aircraft is pretty weak on this ship, and you want that fighter to break up enemy carrier attacks, and it really helps. I find it's really useful, definitely more useful than the scouting aircraft, just because when you get in that view and with the dispersion on these guns, it's just not really useful. Artillery, 8 15-inch guns on board, 21.4 kilometer range, 276 meter dispersion, which isn't very good compared to the North Carolina and the Amagi. So long-range engagements on the ship aren't favorable compared to the Amagi and North Carolina. I mean, they have less damage, the guns, and they're less accurate. So you're really going to want to get close, and I'll talk about that more in a second. The secondary batteries are really good, especially these 150 millimeter. Can I see them? Yes, no. I'm not allowed to see them, I guess. Okay. Oh, probably because I'm on exterior. That's why. Silly me. Yeah, these 150 millimeter secondary batteries are really nice. I think that's the biggest caliber secondary battery in the game. Nearly 6-inch guns. It really can tear up destroyers, set battleships and cruisers on fire, and cause quite a bit of damage at close range. And then we have the main batteries. Just take a look right there. Those 15-inch guns. Like I said, not the best at long range compared to other Tier 8 battleships, but they will hold their own. They're not terrible by any means. And I've heard so many people say that the guns are awful, blah blah blah. I disagree. I don't think they're that bad, and they are good for certain things, which I will get into in a second. And yes, there are torpedoes. This is what sets the Tirpitz apart, really, from all the other battleships in the game. These torpedoes. And that's why the Tirpitz, even though it's weaker at long range against its Tier 8 counterparts, it is substantially more powerful at close ranges. The combination of those great secondary batteries and these torpedoes really make this ship extremely deadly within 6 kilometers. And the other aspect of the Tirpitz is its armor. Now, another reason why the ship is not the best at long range is because its deck armor is really, really weak. And plunging fire, which is fire that comes in nearly vertically, a very high angle of descent, through the deck of the ship, is very, very, very dangerous. Especially on a ship like the Tirpitz. I have been citadeled multiple times in a single game by another Tirpitz firing AP at me from a range of about 16.5, 17 kilometers. So this ship is vulnerable at long ranges. But, that being said, ranges closer than 12 kilometers, this ship is a beast, a fortress. Shots, excuse me, bounce off the ship left and right. Minor damage is taken when you're coming at an enemy straight on within 12 kilometers. They will not be able to do significant damage to you. And that's really where the Tirpitz excels. close range firepower is excellent with this ship. Another thing that's really good about this ship is its citadel capabilities. At close range, it can't be citadeled very easily. That's a really, really, really powerful tool. Speaking of citadels, this thing can dish it out as well, especially against enemy cruisers. And that's where I think the Tirpitz does well when it's using its main batteries. When you're firing at a cruiser, this thing is deadly. That is why you should stick with your team's cruisers and combat the enemy cruisers. Basically, what I'm trying to say is a Tirpitz is just a big cruiser with big guns. That's all it really is. And it's got armor. So it's definitely fantastic against enemy cruisers. With that 30.9 kilometer, or excuse me, knot speed, it's really, really quick, and it can keep up with cruisers. That's very important, and it also has a 12.8 second rudder shift time, which isn't terrible. So yeah, this thing should really stick with the cruisers, and that negates the problem of the anti-aircraft defense, which is weak. Too many 20mm automatic cannons that don't do enough damage to the enemy planes. When you're in a Tirpitz and enemy like dive bombers are coming in on you, you just see a bunch of flak going up, but it's not really doing too much damage. That's because they're just weak. They're just weak, and enemy aircraft carriers really have an easy time with Tirpitzes. So if you stick with your cruisers, that defensive AA ability that they have will really, really help you out. And you'll help them out by taking care of the enemy cruisers. Concealment, extremely visible to aircraft. Really, really bad detectability range of 14.8 kilometers to aircraft. The enemy aircraft carrier will know exactly where you are. And surface detectability is, well, what you'd expect from a battleship, so nothing surprising there. So overall, the ship is really, really good. It's a ship that fits my playstyle, I think. It's quick. It's got nice artillery. It's got torpedoes. It's got a lot of armor at close range, and it's got a lot of health. And I really like to be aggressive in my playstyle, so this really suits me with the speed and the armor at close range, plus those torpedoes with that hitting power. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into a battle. Honestly though, guys, I've recorded this like 6 times. YouTube is harder than I thought. Hopefully this time will be the time I actually can finish it. So guys, yeah, by the way, if you guys have any tips or pointers, just feel free to let me know in the comment section. Really appreciate it. Obviously just starting out, so any kind of advice would be really, really, really helpful. So just feel free, guys. Let's see, we've got a tier 8 carrier or tier 6 carrier. We're going to definitely need our fighter, and we're going to definitely stick with those Atagos, because we're going to need them. Look at that ship, guys. She's beautiful. Now, do any of you guys know the story of the Tirpitz? She's a lot less famous than the Bismarck, her sister ship. Basically, she spent the majority of her career hiding in a Norwegian fjord. Never really fulfilled her potential. Only fired her guns offensively once. And was taken out by the RAF, Royal Air Force. So She really didn't have any kind of a career. She was knocked out in November of 1944 by the British RAF squadron, the famous Dam Busters, I believe, and they dropped 6 tall boy, which are 12,000-pound bombs, on her, caused her to capsize, and trapped over 1,000 men inside. So definitely a tragic story. So I guess the way you understand the Tirpitz's armor is you just have to think about what she was designed to do. She was designed to combat the Royal Navy, the Royal Navy's battleships. And she was designed to operate in the North Atlantic, where engagements were at closer ranges, and there weren't as many aircraft involved. So that explains why our anti-aircraft armament is a bit weak compared to American and Japanese battleships of the same tier. So, I mean, the Tirpitz really did her job well. She was tough at close range. She had torpedoes. She had those powerful 15-inch guns. She's really everything you would want in a battleship in the North Sea or the North Atlantic. And she's quick. And that's important because she was designed to break out into the Atlantic. And she needed to be quick to do that. And her sister ship, the Bismarck, broke out with a cruiser, Prince Eugen. So her speed was taken into account so that she could be escorted by quick cruisers. And she could wreak havoc on British trade ships, merchant ships, supply ships, any type of convoy feeding Britain precious supplies. So, as you guys can tell, I'm a pretty big history buff, so. Cleveland, 19.9. Yeah, right about there. See how those are doing. Ooh, not bad. 4K, I'll take it. Nagato, 20.5. I don't know if those shells are going to go over. Some of them did. Ooh. 3,200, I'll take it. Cleveland over here. I'm going to go for Iowa. Shots on the way. Just over 1,000, not much. Minor damage. 9, 8. Nagato 18.1. See how that does. Should be alright. Oh, Citadel. 20k damage. Yeah, so guys, this ship can hold its own. I don't know what people are talking about, saying that the guns are not very good. The guns are fine. People just don't know how to use the ship. That's really what it is. I have no problem with the guns. Aoba. Turning in. Yes. Let's take out this Aoba. I think he's pretty much done. Cleveland, 13.5. That is what we want. Let's see what we can get. To nearly 3,000. Alright. Not too bad. That would hit Citadel, 2 incapacitations. They're not even focusing on me. Okay, fine. Okay, I think they are now. Yeah, we're just gonna finish this guy off. There we go. He's gone. Okay. Aoba. Everyone seems to be pulling off, and I want to run into this guy. He's not looking at me. Would yeah. That's close, but we got him. Mexico will take that shot in a sec. See how that does? A little behind. Try that. Looks a little better. A little off. A toggle 11.4, didn't even see him. .9. Oh, he's border on them. See if we can't get him. $2,300. Not bad. See what he got. Does it look okay? 4,600. New Mexico turning around. There's a site. Big mistake to turn around. Ooh, 2 citadels. That is what I'm talking about. Ooh, took 2 torpedoes. Should have been paying attention. It was my fault. Ioba. This should be fun. This should be the end of him. Yeah, that's the end of him right there. Oh no, he got lucky. There he goes. Aoba's down. Citadel. Oh, he's gone. Looks like we're about to win it too. Ooh. Oh. I don't know whose fault that was. Just gonna say sorry. 33. $2,800. Take it. We'll take it. And that's the end of the game, guys. Not too bad. Second place on the team. 73,000 damage. Yeah. Not a bad game. Short game, but I think that demonstrated the firepower of the Tirpitz, especially against enemy cruisers. We weren't able to get in close to anything, but a lot of times you're not able to. So yeah, in a nutshell, the Tirpitz is a big cruiser, good speed, decent firepower, a bit lacking for its tier, but nothing serious. The guns aren't bad at all. With torpedoes, which is the X factor. If you can get in close, use those torpedoes. The armor works at close ranges, but is vulnerable at long ranges. And yeah. And oh yeah, the anti-aircraft firepower is lacking. So take a fighter, and stay with your cruisers. And yeah, that's the Tirpitz. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. I'd really appreciate it. And again, just leave me some tips in the comments section of what you want me to improve on. Just feel free. Thank you guys, and hopefully I'll see you guys in another video. Take care.